And we're live my end.
We're
Hopefully.
live on my
Yeah.
end.
I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna have a peek, see where we are at. I'm gonna mute this instantly
Oh yeah,
to
mute the preview. Yep,
uh
it's looking all good
there
on
we go,
my
there's
end.
me. Oh, that's weird. Cool. Uh yeah, so I am there. Fantastic. I'm gonna hide myself so I'm not looking at multiple things.
Sounds good.
So we're now both live.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to working title is either Interview or Fate or That D&D Talk Show.
Hell yeah.
Essentially a talk show where we will talk D&D, but at any point during the time, the fate of dice will reveal what we talk about.
Yeah.
With me is Microphone Man. Why don't you do for my end, because I know you're live your end, but
Yeah.
from my end, why don't you do a little bit of an introduction just for yourself to introduce you to the people who might not know who you are?
Sure. Yeah. I'm Megaphone Man. Hello. Uh I do a couple of things. I post long videos on YouTube and little shorts on TikTok, but my main focus, especially nowadays, is live. So I do a couple of things live, but the big one right now is we're watching through. I've never seen like any of Critical Role or any actual plays
Yeah.
in general. So I am starting at the very beginning. I started at episode one, campaign one of Critical Role, and
Cool.
we're going all the way through. We're on episode 16.
Okay, yeah.
Just now, and so we're out of the Underdark. It's very fun,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of people. We do a lot of like DM advice. Sometimes we critique like the combats, and it's all from like a good faith place. I'm never like, oh man, the players are bad or or Matt's bad.
Yeah.
It's all just learning and collaborative stuff. So yeah, it's a good time. It's a good group of folks that show up for it. So
I can imagine, because
come hang out.
like I assume a lot of us, me included, Critical Role was sort of our intro to the D&D world, as it
Yeah.
were. For myself, I binged watched campaign 2 in maybe 5-6 months.
Yeah.
It was a long streak of just back to back to back to back.
Hmm.
And then from that, I learned how to play.
Yeah.
So I assume watching back when Critical Role wasn't Critical Role, it was just them on a separate channel doing what they want to do.
Yeah, on Geek,
It's fun.
it's very interesting seeing it on Geek and Sundry, seeing it, especially a lot of the stuff we talk about, or that I at first I'm like, what the heck is Matt doing? And then someone will be like, oh, that's the Pathfinder rule. Like they still get like messed up
Yeah.
between like Pathfinder and D&D all the time. So it's just it's very fun seeing their origin stories. And I know that's why a lot of people in chat have also seen Critical Role.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the majority of the people that watch with me have seen Critical Role. But they've only like seen campaign one like once probably.
Yeah.
And so watching back through it now that they have more experience, I'm watching it with like an experienced eye, but I don't know any of the spoilers or the biases. So yeah, it's a really dope time. I have a lot of fun. They are long streams. I'll warn. They're like 6 to 7 hour because each episode's like 3 hours, and I'm not just sitting there watching it. I don't want to
No,
just like
you're
rip their
talking.
content.
No, that's fair. No,
Yeah.
that's fair.
But yeah.
Do you want to kick things off by rolling a dice and see what question? I suppose but I've just realised as well. People your end probably don't know who I am either, do they?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Introduce yourself to the people at home.
As you can tell, we are trained professionals. Hello. My name is Robert or Blue, and I am ThatBlueHairedDM. I started D&D in general about a year ago, as with my TikTok, where it was started off as me just tracking my progress, learning things, trying to do things better myself, essentially. And over the past year, I have become, in my opinion, a better DM, a better player, and this TikTok thing has sort of blew up. And on my account, I just do a bit of everything. It's a lot of talking to camera. I do a lot of sort of tips, tricks, stories, ideas, things that inspire me. Just a bit of everything, but it's all wrapped in a bow of just D&D in general.
I mean, not, I love watching your stuff because I learned TTRPGs when I was so young. I was like 14 or 13 or something. And it is like sometimes hard for me to like learn new things or like break out of my old habits. And like watching someone who has a lot of life experience but not a lot of TTRPG experience, I don't know, you look at things like a lot of times through like a fundamentally different lens, which is really cool to see.
Because it became so it. Guess it's weird. So I started D&D with no books, no dice, no nothing.
Yeah.
All I had was Critical Role.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I look at everything more at a storytelling point of view rather than a D&D side of view.
Yeah.
So I like throughout my account you will find quite a few videos of very much homebrew ideas which might work in D&D. They may break the game, but for storytelling reasons, they're just a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's sort of what I do. I enjoy telling stories, and then little bits that inspire me are just like, here's a film that I saw. Let's move that into a D&D setting and have that as a story. It's essentially what I do. And people seem to like it. It is very much rambly talking. It's weird. If I had a longer way of doing it, it will most likely become a podcast. But as of now, they are about a minute videos of just stuff.
I am so impressed that you can do TikToks in the concise way you do, because I've never been known to ramble. Not me. But for some reason, I tend towards the live format. Because I can just post a 7-hour video raw and no one blinks an eye. But I have, oh my gosh, cutting it down to like a minute or 2 minutes is hard.
You say consistent. I give myself 3 minutes to record a video. And whatever I end up speaking about for that 3 minutes is the video. Either I will cut it down from there, or if it is just verbal garbage, I will refine it to a script. Script in quotations, because they never really are scripts. So they're more coherent for people. Earlier videos were just rambles and rambles away.
Nice.
But yeah, it is one of those things. So yeah.
Sweet.
Do we want to start this off? Would you like to roll for your first question?
Yeah. I have my magic focus here. It's my little wand.
Very nice. I'm also well aware. These guys don't know what we're doing. I keep assuming people know what we're doing because I'm a trained professional. So, for people who are new, hello to Megaphone Man's audience. I have come up with a very dumb idea for a talk show. Essentially, Megaphone Fan will roll a dice. Depending on that dice, the higher the number, the more normal the question will be and nice conversation. The lower the number means the more chaotic and slightly unhinged the questions will become. Yes. And it's all, let's say with me, an interview of fate. There we go.
Interview of fate.
Right. So, if you want to start us off, we can go with our first question.
Let's see. I gotta make sure there's no cheating. Make sure there's nothing.
I believe you're an honest man.
Oh, my chat might not.
We'll see what happens.
Alright, that is a 12.
12.
12.
Okay. 12. Okay, so we're starting off slight normal. Hello, 7th Mastery. We're doing an interview. How are we doing? Welcome aboard. This is a 12. So it's we'll go normal, but sliding down the scale.
Right.
Let's go with, do you have a favorite die? In a 7-piece set of dice,
Uh-huh.
what is your favorite die?
Oh, I see. Oh, the first one that comes to mind is actually my least favorite. Maybe it's because I'm a hater.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let me think. I
told you. The questions are slightly weird.
I hate the D12.
You
That
don't like the
one's
D12?
I hate the D12. No, it's useless. I like.
I like the D12. It's my favorite dice.
Oh no!
I like it aesthetic wise. It's my favorite dice.
Oh no! No!
I'm one of them.
I think I'm a D8 because I really like percentile dice.
Okay.
But I don't like the look of them. I think that they're too crowded on their
Yeah.
faces. So I like the D8. It feels the most. I don't know why, but it feels the most symmetrical. I know they're all symmetrical,
Yeah.
but when I look at the D8, I'm just like, it just feels the most right all the way around.
You feel like with a good one, you should be able to spin it on an edge and it'll rotate.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you can. The D6 is too boring. It's too, it's everywhere, which is nice. It's a useful, but it's
a generic dice.
Yeah, and then the D4 feels dangerous to me for some reason. I don't know.
Metal D4s are the worst.
Yeah, it's like a little caltrop.
They are worse than Lego.
Exactly. And then and then D12s. Okay, my problem with D12s, my big problem is that I am a 5e boy. That's where I came up. That's where I cut my teeth. And unless you're playing a barbarian, what are you using a D12 for? I never use it.
It's true. No, you're fair. It is the most underutilized dice.
Yeah.
But
there
for
is
me, I just like 'em.
There is actually a really fun homebrew that I like that does kind of get the D12 more involved a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Weird Wastelands. I believe it's by WebDM.
Name definitely rings a bell.
Yeah, in that supplement they rework consumables. So instead of having like 10 rations or like 10 days of rations or whatever, you have a D8 for your rations. And then every time you would eat a ration, you roll the D8, and if it's a 1 or a 2, you go down a dice size. And so on your little sheet, if you're using a physical sheet, you can just put a dice on each of your consumable to like remember it.
Yeah.
And then if it's like a bigger container, so it's like if you get like a water skin, that's maybe like a D6, and it can only hold a D6 even if you refill it. But if you get like, I don't know, like a tank or something, like a tank of water, maybe that's like a D8 or a D12. So yeah, I like that. That brings the D12s a little bit more. We had like a wagon that was like a D12, but
okay, yeah. Like, to be fair, I did warn chat. They are not your typical normal questions, and we started off with a noticeable good one. Who would think you would have this sophisticated conversation about dice?
Oh yeah.
But yes, no, I am with you. With sort of the D8 looks very much like a spinner. As much as we all love the D20, it's the D20. It's the most used.
Yeah, and it looks a little bit too much like a sphere or a ball for my taste. It's just like aesthetically, I don't like the D20 as much.
Does that mean you do not like the D100? Like
no,
the ball D100.
I hate the D100. I hate the D because I did not know about dice trays until like 8 years into my DMing career. I had no. So I hate things that can easily fall off the table. No.
Oh God. No, I definitely want myself a D100 just because.
It is cool. It is fun.
Just because.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's have a conversation to get us started with.
Sure.
Hopefully, we'll get a question with a bit more sort of meat into it.
Sure.
Would you like to roll for your second one?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
This is what this. By the way, this is what the entire thing is going to be. I hope we're all happy with it.
Oh, I'm hanging out. I'm chilling.
Go for it.
2.
Two.
2.
2.
I need a
That's
dice
so
game.
close to a natural 1. You do need to. Okay, so with the 2, this works quite well. This works quite well. You know how we just had this lovely conversation about our favorite and least favorite dice?
You seem too excited for this. I don't
What?
trust it.
What dice would you be?
What
You
die?
You specifically. What die would you want to be?
Would I want to be, or would I be if I'm being honest with myself?
We'll go with the honest answer. Yeah, we'll go with the honest answer.
I think if I'm being honest with myself, I think I would probably be the D6. I think I'm a little too boring. I think I can slot into a lot of places easily, but
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's gonna be my favorite. Or is I don't know. I don't foresee.
This is what happens when you roll low, my man. You gotta.
I also think I'm a little too controversial. If I was like, if an entire system was based on me, people would have strong feelings about it.
There's lots of D6 systems out there, though.
That's what I'm saying, but people have very strong opinions about D6 systems.
I think you would make a lovely D6.
Oh, what's up, Ryan?
Is Ryan in?
Ryan Beard. It's a very old friend of mine. What's up? What's up? How you doing? We should meet up later.
To be fair, I'm starting to get some comments on my end as well. And we make note of any particular questions, because if you roll a certain thing, something will pop up.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I think that's my realistic answer. If I wanted to be a specific die,
yeah,
I think I would like to be. I don't know why, but I would like to be the D4.
D4.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I know I just described it as aggressive, and I'm not looking to be like aggressive and hostile.
Are you a particularly aggressive person?
I'm not. I don't. but something about it attracts me. It's very. I think it's surprisingly useful. Like I think a lot of homebrew, or a lot of times when I'm like trying to come up with something on the fly, like I will I'll use like a D4 to like choose between like, a few options. Yeah, so I think those are my answers.
Those are your answers. That's fair. That's fair. Again, to be honest, I didn't quite know what I was gonna get out of some of these questions, but I am so glad you're up for any of them.
Oh yeah, I'm super down. What are you being?
Oh, you're asking what about me? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to flip the table. Dice-wise, I think, D6 is nice. D6, you can.
It's a nice one.
D6 is sort of you're not standing out. You're very like bog standard. You could slot in everywhere. You're used for many things. You're a nice little dice.
In terms of not standing out, they very often, have powerful colors, like very shocking blue hair, so that they don't stand 100%. Out. Yeah.
You say that. My microphone stand for today is currently my jar full of blue dice. So
yeah, you've got your branding color is strong.
I don't know, right? But
I do have a lot of D6s. I think ready.
Yeah, D6 a lot. I think what I would like to be is a D100. Ooh. Like a percentile dice.
Mm-hmm.
Purely for that factor of it could swing either way, and it's one of those ones where when you use it, it has to be for a specific reason.
That's fair. Yeah, it's very purpose driven. It's all and I'm sure that, there's a little bit of confusion. If you roll 2 zeros, people have to like squint for a second. They're like, what does that mean again? Is that 100 or is that a 0? I don't know. You want to be like that?
Yeah, just, confuse people just a little bit.
Yeah, they get
just
there.
Have some purpose. Yeah, they get there, 100%. Cool. Right. I love that we've now had 20 minutes of talking about dice.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even just D&D, just dice.
You know
D&D
it,
players
man.
for you.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome. Right. Third question. We're going through this like nothing, which is good.
I
Right.
know. I'm.
Well, to be fair, these questions aren't really very tangent friendly, to be honest.
Yeah.
The ones you rolled so far, but we'll get to some tangent ones
Okay.
later on.
No. We're chilling. I'm hanging out, man. I'm seeing if I theoretically have a way to do a Oh, I didn't install the plugin. Dang it. I reset my computer recently and I forgot to reinstall all the plugins. I used to have an app that I could use for Dice Cam.
Right.
I don't have it anymore. Let's see. All right.
I'm pretty sure I can just take your word for it. Okay. Right.
That's fair. I'll stop doing the dice cam. Let's see.
Right. Third roll.
It's another 2.
It's another 2. If this was a life or death scenario, you would not be good. Well, would you?
No. I am. The dice have never really been with me, especially when I play. There's the maxim. I think that Ryan Amell always says, if you want to roll better, just become a DM.
No, I cannot agree with that advice at all. I have the DM's curse. When I roll as a DM, I roll shockingly bad. Nothing will go
always.
maybe above a 15. Very rarely get a 20.
Yeah.
Very rarely. So yes, I have DM's curse, so I can't do that.
Oh god.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with. Bear in mind, some of these are viewer suggested. I went live earlier today, and some of these are viewer suggestions, so bear with.
Cool. Yeah, no problem.
I am not going to give you any context for this one because they specifically asked for no context.
Okay.
But angels or demons?
Demons.
Demons.
Because
Why?
Karlach in BG3 is super hot.
That was your reason. Fantastic.
That's my reasoning. Karlach is a babe. And I will never take her out of my party, even if it doesn't make sense with the comp. And I don't need to romance anyone else. Karlach's my one and only.
No, that's fair. That's fair. You got demons. That's fair. Do you have anything against angels, or is it just you prefer demons?
They're either bog standard and goody two shoes, or they're terrifying eyeball monsters. And while I'm into that, as a world builder and maybe sexually, I don't know. But I don't find them as intriguing as in whole.
No,
as
that's
demons.
fair. I think I'm with you on that. Demons you get a lot more variety with demons than you can be with angels.
Yeah, I'm never going to have an angel deal in my game, but I have devil deals every other session, you know?
100%. Yeah, no, angel deal sounds like you'll get something from a supermarket, right?
It does, yeah. Like you're and I'm also a dirty warlock main. So
God, hold on.
It's kind of built in.
I hit the wrong button. There you go.
Oh yeah.
The wrong button. There we go. We're back.
We're back.
I hit the wrong button.
Don't
Cool.
worry, I was just talking about how I'm a warlock main. No one needs to hear that.
No, that's fair. To be fair, warlock main. To be fair, that might have answered another question that might pop up later in a minute.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Oh, I could talk about warlock for 3 hours. Don't worry. If you want a fucking tangent, we can talk about that.
There you go. We'll add the warlock. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
No, that's fine. To be fair, I mean, I think demons in my game, I've played a lot of like sly demons where they aren't necessarily like you don't know the demon straight away. They are someone on the overworld. My sort of go-to is they're running a circus.
Oh yeah.
And they will eventually start kidnapping children, as you do for their souls.
Sure, yeah.
And you realize, hang on a minute, they shouldn't do that. So they start figuring out what's happening and realize it's a demon. And I think that's a fun way of playing it, where it's the visual of, if you describe it well, you watch an NPC and suddenly you see two horns start growing out of their head.
Oh,
The
yeah.
players suddenly get all nervous very quickly.
Yeah. But even in D&D, it could be like, they're just a tiefling, maybe? No, they're the devil. Okay.
You hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I also, there's another aspect of this, of especially within the D&D context. The hells are such a kind of interesting and defined place. But like all of the like areas and levels of heaven are kind of just scattered to the wind. And angels are not angels don't even have the good part of like IRL, like Christian angels, where like they have your best interest at heart. Like most angels in D&D contexts are like probably as selfish as the demons that you'll meet. They're just less honest about it and more self-righteous.
Yeah. I have to be upfront. I do apologize because suddenly two of my quite regulars have sneaked into your chat.
I do see that there's
specifically turned to chaos.
Yeah, there's a tree question that
yes,
they really.
So I was going to save that for a natural one chaos, but no, you had to ruin the surprise. For some reason, I couldn't tell you why. One of my viewers, who's on the Discord server, turned to chaos. Whenever someone new is on stream, he will always ask, "What tree would you be?"
What tree would I be?
What tree would you be? And when I was trying to get questions for this stream, I was like, "No, we're going to keep it D&D related." And they're like, "No, keep tradition." I'm like, just for you. If you get to natural one, I'll do it. But evidently, chaos has come in.
He was not patient enough. Yeah,
he was not patient enough. So,
what tree would I be?
Megaphone Man, what tree would you be?
My initial reaction was birch.
Okay.
And I have I don't have.
I don't know why.
Any logic. That was just my soul was attracted to a shedding tree. A tree that molts, I guess. I don't know snakes. I don't have any reason to have picked birch. I think my front yard had a birch when I was growing up, and no one else that I knew had. I don't even know where birches are from, because no one else I knew had a birch. And then they would come over and they'd be like, "What the fuck is that tree?" And I'd be like, "You ever played Minecraft? It's like in that."
I mean, that's an icebreaker at all, right? It's like your own paragraph. That's like the worst pickup line ever manageable, right?
Yeah. And I used to have to sweep up the shavings, which I don't think anyone else ever had to do for their trees growing up.
No, does your birch tree, if you like chop the bottom, does it still stay floating in the air?
I wish. That'd be so sick. Yeah. That's how I told people how to find my house. It's like the one with the floating tree. It's that one.
Tree, yeah.
Yeah. I also I apologize to your viewers. They're not used to the levels of what was obfuscation that YouTube makes you go through to find a live stream. It's not as simple as just searching Megaphone Man 0. No, that'd be so way too easy. You have to go to my channel and then like to the live tab, unless the home screen decides to show it today.
I did give them warning at the end of my live to be like, I'm going live on his YouTube channel, Megaphone Man. I've said it multiple times.
You might not have added the 0. That might
have not been.
It's tough SEO that I chose to throw a random digit at the end of my name for no reason.
Was it just because you felt like you needed a name, or was Megaphone Man already taken?
Megaphone Man was an existing tag. Um,
Okay.
Turn to Chaos does say you forgot the zero, Robert. That's tough.
My bad, my bad, my bad.
No, it was well, it was a tag, and it was originally slightly louder than necessary, man. Because we
Okay.
were in my high school group, we were trying to come up with like what is a realistic superhero name for our real life selves, and
Yeah.
that was mine. But it doesn't really roll off the tongue at all.
Megaphone Man is a nice
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, so Megaphone Man works. I couldn't find it because there was no zero.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's bad SEO. I've thought about taking it off.
I'm sorry, Chaos. Hopefully you can forgive me. You found the live now. To be fair, what I should have done is just under my R cameras just had the link to it, or it has a pinned comment or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But here we are. They found it now.
Yeah,
There
it's
we go.
easier on YouTube because I can just throw everything in the description. Nice
Yes.
and easy, tons of place to put shit. It's great.
TikTok doesn't like, because I'm currently having to do it as a landscape to fit both of us on.
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't like landscape portrayed on a portrait phone. It's one
Yeah.
of those, like, they don't like it, which is fair. I get it.
Oh yeah.
But it's
TikTok
the only way I can make it work.
TikTok is so cool and massively hostile to all of its users. It's got like just the absolute goat of algorithms, and everything
100%.
about it is everything else about it's terrible. I hate it.
The algorithm to determine how many views your video gets is something else entirely. Don't quite know what it is. It just some videos will do really well.
Just
Some won't.
out of random. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like me, cool but hostile. I'm getting that turn to chaos. I'm seeing that. There was a lot of all caps, and I was like, yes, I didn't turn off the all caps filter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all the messages
It
would have
is.
gotten filtered out. But I feel
That's true.
that.
Yeah. I'm glad that you now have the little bit of chaotic side that I normally get on my lives. Because
Fuck
it
yeah,
tends
I
to
love it.
be I start out with a plan, and then about 20 minutes in it derails fast. So
That's the best thing. That's the
we're keeping
joys
track
of
somehow.
live.
Yes.
If you wanted it to be cohesive, it would just be pre-recorded. Come on.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Right. Would you like to roll for another question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not?
Let's see. Ah! It's not another 2, but it's a 5.
My man, you're not good with your rolls today.
I'm not, dude. I've been playing Blades in the Dark too much. DMs don't have to roll in that system. I've lost all my luck.
Okay. Let's go. Okay, let's go a slightly nice bit of unhinged one.
Okay.
If you could pick any D&D monster for a pet, what would you have?
Gibbering Mouther.
That was instant. Instant. My God,
I mean,
it's like you had a pet. That horrific thing
I don't.
for pets.
I have.
My God,
I
that
have
was
a lot of. This is like the D4 where I don't know why it came to my mind so instantly, but you said pet, and my mind went to Gibbering Mouther before I could stop it. I was
gonna say, do you have like any history with the gibbering mouth?
I do have a history. Me and the Mouther go back. In my very first campaign, it was the first time that my players experienced analysis paralysis. But also there was a gibbering mouther in a maze. It was like a minotaur,
Right,
but slower and more terrifying. And they avoided it, they got into the mansion. There was like a maze in the back of like a mansion that they were sneaking into. And at one point, one of the players I don't remember what he had, but he had a bunch of organic material in a bag of holding for some reason. And he went out to the back balcony and he just kept throwing things into the gibbering mouther. So, and that same session, I gave him a sentient sword as a pet. So I think that the two are I think the neurons got linked in my head.
They've linked together. That, because I'll be honest, I was expecting a little bit like someone was going to be like something more animal basic, or like no, be
like a displacer beast or something.
You were like gibbering mouth. I was like, what the hell? That was instant.
I love me some aberrations. That one. I used, I think, a type of creature that most DMs don't even know about, which is the Modrones. I fucking love them.
I know the Modrones. I used them, I think, maybe my second to last DM session.
Hell yeah.
They are horrific.
Yeah. I
like them.
I just love me. I don't, even though I answered demons for angels and demons, I don't use a lot of demonic or angelic forces. I mostly use disgusting aberrations.
To be fair, I mean, if you described that running towards you, everyone's gonna run away from that, right?
Yeah, I don't know if a gelatinous cube counts as an aberration. I guess it's an ooze.
It's an ooze.
But my other like favorite like monster trap combo is having a pitfall trap that has a gelatinous cube in it. So they fall into the gelatinous cube and can't get out. Oh man, dude.
So good. Yeah. I may have used that a few times. It's a mean trap. But
it is. It was. I felt mean about it when I used it because my players immediately they actually didn't even fall into it. They jumped it. They made the dex save for the pitfall trap, and then there was they were really damaged and they could hear a monster lurking up ahead. I like to foreshadow my monsters. And so they went back to another room and they barricaded it up and they took a long rest. And they were in like a Dungeon of the Mad Mage type of scenario. I think I called it like the Insane Artificer or something. Direct rip. And they had already known that the Insane Artificer resets all of his traps, but for some reason they walked out of the room after the long rest. And they were like, oh, the pitfall trap isn't there anymore. And they walked over it without saying anything. And I was like, guys, it's reset.
It's not moving.
It's reset. What are you doing? And they're like, oh, we forgot. And then it was like 20 minutes ago, IRL time.
Oh my God.
And so they fell in the gelatinous cube and it almost TPK'd them. Oh, man.
What level were they at this point?
They were high level. They almost got TPK because a Chimera came in. I think they were 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even. I did not expect it to be a TPK. I'll say that, but it is easily the closest I've ever gotten. It was the TPK was going to happen. I actually this was one of the first YouTube videos I ever posted, was telling this story, but new audience, new
exactly. Go for it. No, tell the story.
Yeah, but at some point earlier in that campaign, right as I talk about how I don't use devils, so there was a demonic altar, right? And the players knew that the demonic altar was in front of a shortcut, and then they saw the long way around, and they're like, bah, demonic altar will be fine. And the strong guy tries to move it. He touches it. He gets the campaign was set in the Elder Scrolls canon, and so Clavicus Vile, the Daedra, stops time, comes into frame, has a conversation, offers a monkey's paw contract essentially, where he says, "Let me use your voice for a day." And the player is like, "What does that mean?" And he's like, "I don't know." Whenever I see fit, I just get your voice for one day.
100%.
Which is such a fun. I love like devil deals that are not clear, that are clearly like bad in some way, but the characters can't figure out how. Those are my
Yeah.
favorite. I don't like to dress it up that it's some sort of like
No.
benevolent demon. It's like very clearly gonna do something with your
Yeah.
voice.
100%. You're not gonna hide it whatsoever. But the
Yeah.
other end of the deal, maybe a sweet deal, you may just have to take it. You know?
Yeah, I offered him a wish. And they were like level 3.
Oh,
They were like level 3.
that's-
And I was like, you can have a wish, but I get your voice for a day. And so he basically says, "Can I think about it?" um, and I'm like, and Clavic is just like, "Yeah, sure, dude, you can think about it, whatever." Months IRL time passes. Like 10 or 12 sessions, like 3 or 4 levels, and then they're in this situation. One of the players is down, currently being digested by the cube. The other one is at like 1 HP and is searching through a bag of tricks with absolutely nothing in it. And the last one, the fighter, the Mountain, his name was Mountain.
amazing.
He's staring down the Chimera, and the Chimera was definitely going to, it fire breathed. It was going to do, like, it was going to kill both of them. Like, straight up, It definitely was. Like, we all knew it was rolling towards this TPK. And so I asked him, he failed his dex save.
Right.
And I go, okay, like, as a reaction, do you, like, what do you want to say? Like, it's very somber. And then he just shouts at me. IRL shouts, Clavicus, I would like to bargain. And as a DM, I just... I'd forgotten about it. Everyone at the table had forgotten about it. And
He was holding on. He was holding on.
Oh yeah. And so I was like, everything freezes, everything stops. Clavicus walks out of the wall, doesn't say a word, just extends the contract. And he signed it. And
yeah, no, that's it.
And not only did he sign it, but the great thing, it was just such pure panic that he didn't even say kill the monsters or I wish the monsters were dead. He just said send the monsters away. The most vague shit he could have ever said. And Cloud is like, oh, with pleasure. And
absolutely.
And that started an accidental zombie apocalypse. In that campaign.
Yeah, that's yeah. I can see how one thing led to the other. Yeah, that's.
There was I don't know if you've ever seen the fungus. There's a fungus that infects people. It's literally like a Last of Us monster.
Yes, yeah.
And out of session, I was like, okay, like Clavicus teleported the cube to the fungus, and the fungus they had like left right outside the city. And they've been like, this will be fine. Or actually, sorry, no, they had an NPC that was infected that they had sent back to the city to get cured.
Yeah.
And so I just teleported the gelatinous cube right to that person, and I was like, all right, and I fucking sandboxed a battle between them. Infected person lost, fucking cube gets infected, and cube goes on a rampage through town that I started out simulating. I was like, oh, who's going to stop the cube? And the cube just couldn't be stopped. It just kept rolling like crazy. And so they got back and and the town was gone. But
that's right.
Anyways, I don't remember what the point of that story was.
I think it was just an amazing story because that leading one. That's why we love D&D, though, right?
Yeah.
Leading one thing to another to cause.
I loved it, and I told you I love foreshadowing. I love it. I love like little
100%.
sprinkling little bits.
Same here.
And we had a Discord server, and I had a channel called Rumors. Because before this, up to this point, it was a very city-based thief campaign called Thieves Can't. But apostrophe T at the end. Cannot.
Cannot.
And So they had rumors that they would hear, and in between sessions, I would put like one rumor in there between sessions to like maybe give them a little plot hook, or it would be a rumor about something that they had done, but it was like getting misinterpreted through the rumor mill. It was great fun. I had a lot of fun with rumors. So I put in the rumors chat like probably like 20 or 30 times between that session and the next session. I put the whole party gains 3 XP. The whole party gains 4 XP. The whole party gains 12 XP. Because I was just like, I mean, it's their fault that all these people are dying.
Yeah.
And so they just like, by the time we got back to the next session, they'd only gained like 200 XP.
Yeah.
But they get back and they're like, what the fuck was all that for? And I was like, I don't know. I guess you'll figure it out later.
You'll find out. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that was probably the Clavicus I would like to bargain is probably the most quotable moment from any of my campaigns, I think.
100%, yeah. I mean, sometimes, you most likely as a Dungeon Master, every Dungeon Master will be able to just write like a book of just quotable lines.
The
players have said.
Yeah.
100%.
It's D&D is a lovely, amazing hobby, man.
Yes. It's an escape, as we all put it.
Yes.
That was... And just to think, that story came from you wanting a gibbering mouther as your pet.
Oh, yeah. Barney has a quotable line.
Yeah, that was the question.
Oh, yeah, it was the gibbering mouther. I do. My name is Cheese Farts. That is Barney's quotable line.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's like Cheese Farts Associates and attorney at law, or like what? What is it?
Is it a nickname, or did your parents just really hate you? You know. It was Magic Quest. That's fair. No, that's fair. Right. Amazing tangent. We love that. That's amazing tangent. Yes. That's what we were looking for with these questions. And that was what? Only the 4th question?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know how many you have on the back end, but I'm fucking.
So I have listed about 10 each side. But at the rate you are rolling, we will most likely go through all of the low ones first.
What? My dice is fair. I swear it'll come back. I believe in you. I believe in you, buddy.
Yeah, I believe in you. You got it. Come on. We want a good one. We want a semi-normal one. Although, where's the fun in that?
So 5 again.
To 5 again. If you were on death saves, you would have been dead. You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Absolutely gone.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're having the more fun questions, right? It's great fun. So we will
I'm gonna get another D20. I'm gonna get a different one.
Maybe. Let's go with another one that one of my viewers suggested, which is a slightly nicer one.
Okay.
But it does put you slightly on the spot.
Okay.
If you were in the D&D world that you are currently playing in and you own a tavern, what would that tavern be like and what would it be called?
The Drunken Dragon.
Drunken Dragon.
And it would be a 3-story kind of wood ramshackle business with a secret basement that I don't use for anything. It's totally empty, I swear. And we don't need to look in the basement. There's 3 other floors to look at. Come on. And I run an illegal brothel so that if they ever do investigate me, they only find the illegal brothel and not what's in the basement, which is absolutely nothing. So why would you even look there?
Yeah, but you got 3 stories to explore for. Why the basement?
Yeah.
Why the basement?
Yeah. 3 stories of illegal stuff. Go look up there. Oh my God, so illegal. Slap me on the wrist. Give me my fine.
So now the question is, what's in that basement that's more illegal than the tavern?
I told you, there's nothing in the basement, Blue.
Nothing in the basement. Nothing in the basement. Fine.
Robert. It's nothing. Can you tell I've been playing too much Blades in the Dark?
Yeah, just a little bit. I do love how, again, instant that was. The Drunken Tavern, three. You create a whole
Drunken
little
Dragon.
that was sorry, Drunken Dragon.
Yeah,
My bad. Then I have a tavern called the Drunken Tavern, so that's why. But
I
yes,
see.
that's how instant your brain works with these things. I love.
Can you tell that I'm a low prep improv heavy DM? That's
To be fair, that's my kind of DM. I'm with you on that.
I love world building, but not for my actual game. I love like I love just like sitting down and like making characters and making cities.
Yeah.
It's like a relaxation thing for me. And so if anyone were to ever see the worlds that I prepped, I would be too self-conscious about it. I would be like, no, you can't run around in there. You'll mess things up.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
But I still
that's
do.
what D&D is.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
that's
getting
fair.
over that. I'm getting to love them messing it up. Yeah. Your mind couldn't
That is-
handle the nothingness that lies in that basement. That's true, Undead King. See, Warlock main. I do Warlock things down there. Don't worry about it.
That's so vague. I am scared. You do warlock things. Could mean anything.
Yeah.
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 Is that you with the taverns, or sorry, you and the patrons, or is it just specifically you?
You know what? If you, it's only me. If you ever
Only you.
see a patron go in there and not come back, you must have missed Saw, because patrons aren't involved in the basement. So if you saw someone other than me go into the basement, which you wouldn't have seen anyways because there is no basement. But if you did see that, you didn't see that because patrons are involved.
What I love now is I have instantly, in my brain, created a one-shot based of just this tavern alone. About your party enters this 3-story tavern, and it is a brothel. It's busy. It's busy.
Right. Very busy.
But you see a trapdoor going down to the basement, and you see the owner walk down there, but giving a suspicious look to everybody. So you go ask the barkeep, "What's down in the basement?" He just responds with, "What basement?" Immediately the one shot's off.
Yeah. You ask all the other patrons, they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then as you're there, you look back and you don't see the trapdoor anymore either.
Yeah.
You're actually not even sure if there ever was a trapdoor. That's crazy.
Oh, that's such a good one-shot story. I love that so badly. The Drunken Dragon.
Yeah.
We need that as a one-star now. That's what we need.
And I love the idea of like a barbarian like clearing out the first floor and trying to hack through the floor where they saw the trap door. And you just narrate that, yeah, you just get down to dirt. You just get down to foundation. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
And they need some sort of like MacGuffin or something that's hidden on one of the other floors.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That is.
That's so sick.
But then every time you go up to a level, it's just the ground floor again, but slightly different.
Oh, yeah. You go back to the bartender, and it's a different bartender, and he's like, "Oh, you're back. What can I do for you?" And it's like, "What? We've never met before." He's like, "What? You were just here, man. What are you talking about? We just talked."
That would freak the players out so much. This is now a one-shot creation live stream. We love it.
Oh yeah, dude. This is people were talking about in the Feywild in chat. This is a perfect tavern for the Feywild.
100% it is.
Yeah.
That is
What's...
To be fair, I may have to steal that for my Halloween one-shot that I am planning, because
go for it.
That's fantastic.
Go for it. I do not own any of the IP created during this live stream.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is the public's. This is the public's live
Public
stream.
domain, yeah.
This is the live stream of the
100%.
people. What was your
Amazing.
answer? What's your answer? What's the
my
tavern
answer?
for? Yeah.
So
I let you get off easy with not telling me the pet you would have, so now I gotta bring it back.
okay, we're doing that. I don't know. See, now my answer's gonna be boring, because I think my answer for pet is like a manticore. Manticore or Pegasus,
Oh,
right? Mine is
yeah. You were making fun of me for gibbering mouther, and you want the fucking the uncanny valley monster? Bleh.
what? The Manticore is great.
Of course,
I love Manticore.
ah. It has too
Oh,
human of a face. It's like when I see fucking I Am Robot. Eh.
It depends how you describe it. It doesn't necessarily have a human face.
In the book, it
You know.
does.
Mine's a cute, cuddly Manticore, right?
Dude, now I'm just picturing it with like a cut off doll's face. Like I'm picturing it with like a baby face. You're like, oh, it's so
Just
cute and cuddly.
Yeah, just two black eyes just staring back at you.
Yeah, it's like a Barbie doll with a lion's
Really?
body.
I don't think I saw that in the new Barbie film. Did you? I don't remember seeing
I
that.
don't recall, no.
No.
Scary Barbie.
Yeah, scary Barbie. Tavern wise, I think my go-to tavern name is the Rusty Dagger.
Rusty Dagger's a
The
classic.
Rusty Dagger.
That's
It's good.
great.
It's a good
Yeah,
name.
it sounds like a
Good name, right?
mercenary hangout.
And
yeah.
matter of fact, it is very much a it's you go in and it's very much the tavern where not a lot of the high end people go. It is very much a rough and tumble tavern.
Sure.
And you can go to the tavern keep, and you can say a certain keyword or a secret word, and then they will bring you down to the basement, and underneath it is essentially like an organization of thieves, killers,
Oh, I see.
things that are just slightly below the law,
Right.
but they do it in a way where they haven't got caught yet.
Right, like the one time that they got close, they paid off the dude. He was gonna write a report.
They know people who know people who know people.
Right.
They're very careful with that. It's like the Rusty Dagger just sounds like a good sort of. It's like a good thief hideout.
I was worried with a name like Rusty Dagger that it was going to be a brothel as well, but for people with STDs, so that they know that everyone there also has them. You know, like it's in the name.
Yeah,
I just realized that I did not even clarify if you had any lines for your live stream, if you try to keep it family friendly or not.
No, I am fine by me.
Okay.
I will warn you. I'm pretty sure Chaos and Barney are 16, but that's all I know.
Okay. I'll keep it in mind.
But they've heard much worse from me, so you're doing okay.
I have no idea the ages of any of my viewers, which I'm just now realizing might be not the best. But
to be fair, I didn't realize that until they said, like, "Oh, okay, you make me feel a lot older than I thought I was going to be." Okay. But yes, they've heard a lot worse from me and from the Discord server, so they are fine.
Oh yeah, Turn to Chaos says we're fine. So
yeah, they're fine,
to be
but
fair,
with, like, shifty eyes.
I'm not their fucking dad. I don't care. Yeah, this is dude. I was I was filming a video with Dice Brain. Nico, good guy. Go check him out. And we were filming the video, and it was about Deadliest Warrior, and the Deadliest Warrior show gives you this like giant warning of like, do not try this at home, trained professionals, whatever. It's so thick and small that you can barely even read it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does that say? And then we read it, and Nico was like, oh yeah, we should probably tell people, like, you know, don't try this at home, you know, we're just goofing around. And I was like, I'm not gonna tell them that. Go stab your friends. I don't care. I'm not a role model. I don't listen to me. I'm
not responsible. What are you about?
Yeah, beat each other with sticks in the backyard. I'm good. Like
you can't track it back to me. You're fine, you know.
Yeah. This is me absolving myself of responsibility. I don't have a big enough following to have responsibility yet.
No, that's fair. No, I'm with you on that.
Once I have a big following, maybe, but it's one of the benefits of being small.
So you can just do what you want. I know, it's good. It's good fun.
Party said to stop giving chaos ideas.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. So Chaos and Barney are twins. They are brothers.
Ah, I see. I see.
So if you see one without the other, it's a very rare occurrence.
Fair
So
enough. Well,
I am impressed that they've hopped onto your live and I've stayed this long because I normally stay on my lives, but
yeah.
my lives are normally an hour, hour and a half. So we'll see
Oh, that's fair.
how long they stick around for.
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm happy that they're not just watching on one account and fighting over the keyboard. They're giving me double the engagement. It's dope.
I know, right? I know it's good fun. They're good.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and roll and get slightly higher than a 10 this time?
We'll try, dude. I don't.
We'll try.
Do you want to give me a modifier or something? Give me advantage? I don't. I might do this.
Yeah, no, I'll be fair. You can have advantage for this one roll.
Okay, I'll roll with advantage.
Come on. We
Dude,
need this.
I gotta show you. What? It's a 7 and an 8. Like,
My God.
it's like a tiny bit higher, but I can't.
It's like the world doesn't want you to have the normal questions.
No, at least I'm edging towards
Which is
normal.
Which is annoying because I'm running out of the unhinged questions because I didn't think we would get this many.
Normally, here,
Dear
next time
God.
you can give me triple advantage. We'll really break from regular D&D rules.
Because if I do that, you'll just get a 7, 8, and a 9 in a row is what will happen.
I'll get 3 1s really quick. All my dice are weighted. I didn't tell you. This is all scripted, just like Critical Role. Ah!
Okay, let's bring it back to. I assume I'm gonna know the answer, but
Okay.
you yourself, what class would you consider yourself to be? From the D&D classes, I could.
So, like, I'm assuming that, like, spellcasters are on the table. This is, like, if me, myself, was, like, transported into
Yeah.
D&D, like, what would I be?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Oh.
Spellcast, otherwise that's like half of them just gone.
I would have made a Faustian pact when I was 14. I would be long indebted to some otherworldly being. Like, my IRL stats are, like, charisma's wherever it is. It's up. It's my main stat. Everything else is below 10. I have a body like Play-Doh. I do not, even when I was at my absolute most jacked, they would be like, "Oh yeah, you look fine." Like I could never be a strength-based class. And dexterity, I have to this is Megaphone Man lore. I have to do daily ankle exercises to make sure that I don't roll my ankles on a monthly basis. My God. I am not a monk. I'm not. I'm so strength and dex are out. Maybe con. Yeah. Like if I'm being generous with myself, maybe that's above 10. And then int, and any time that anyone has ever thought that my int or wisdom was above 10, it was only because I succeeded on a deception check. There's my int and wisdom are not up here. It's all lies, all the way down. Yeah. I cheated my whole way through all my schooling. Not just cheating. So it was a combination of cheating and just being like, "Hey teacher, can I not do the assignment? Like, is that cool with you?" And and it was cool with them a lot of the time. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Charisma's up here.
Charisma's high. But to be fair, so you're saying a warlock definitely, yeah?
Yeah, because if you had offered me, if you had said I can sell my soul for a 1d10 cantrip, I would have made that trade absolutely years ago.
Instant.
Yeah. If I could sell my soul for Mage Hand, oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Amel has just commented on my end saying that you are obviously a bard.
Yeah, well, that's what I tell people.
Maybe both.
That's what I tell people when I roll into town. I'm like, "Oh, look at me and all my bard magic," but they don't know. They don't know the real. I cast 2 spells, and then they're like, "Cast more," and I'm like, "I'm tired. I'm not out of spell slots. I'm just sleepy." Uh,
You just sleepy. Yeah, good.
yeah. Undead King Mega is an awesome and goofy warlock with glass bones. I'm a warlock patron. If
I
you're
mean,
interested, I believe that Chaos is a warlock patron. I believe
yeah, no, 100%.
he's a fiend. He's running the carnival. Is he in your game?
Oh,
Is he the
100%.
carnival barker?
He is not in my game, but he now has to be in my game. He is now, yes, he is now running the carnival.
Yeah, no, I would be
yeah.
I would be Pact of the Chain. I've already thought through all of this. I would be Pact of the
Oh,
Chain.
100%. I can tell. I can tell.
And Genie, if it's available, if Tasha's is available, if Tasha's doesn't exist at this point, then Archfey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also
Fair
don't
enough.
take Eldritch Blast. I made the joke about selling my soul for a 1d10. I'm actually selling my soul for fucking Mask of Many Faces. That's what I'm selling my soul for.
Right.
Disguise self on command. Oh my god. Don't even get me
Absolutely,
started,
yeah.
dude. Yeah, so that's
fair.
that's the
I feel like you've had the thought. I feel like if this ever happened, you would just instantly take it.
Yeah, I would actively search out the Feywild and the Archfey and whatever they need. I'll do whatever, dude. I don't care. I just told all of them to go stab their friends. Clearly my moral compass is not I don't think I'm like a shitty person, but it's not like true north, like there's a little bit of chaos.
I do love how the majority of these questions you have answered instantly. There's been no hesitation. Just full on.
Well, I mean, going back to the charisma, people like confidence, man. And as with most content creators, I am a certain way off camera, and the moment I get on camera, snap decisions. My decisiveness, the moment that I go live, goes through the fucking roof. Especially when I'm collabing. When I'm talking to myself and to chat, there's a little bit more hesitancy, but if I'm talking to you, it's right there. I follow my gut, which is why I'm a warlock and not a bard. Bard takes too much studying. I'm going with my gut. I'm taking that Faustian pact. What are you?
No, that's fair. I think someone asked me this on live before. I think I will most likely be a fighter. Purely because as much as magic and everything that end, I have that mindset of there has to be that one guy who is good at his job that doesn't need magic.
Yeah. I feel that.
And because I just so happen to have a collection of swords, I feel like, and doing my job, my day job, I feel like being a fighter sort of makes most sense.
What's your day job? I feel like I've heard you say this before because I tuned into one of your lives and you talked about how you were switching jobs. You were quitting somewhere and getting into something else.
Yes. So my old job used to be a waiter. I used to be at front of house. Used to be a bar person, like run food, that sort of stuff. I then quit that job about 3 months ago to become an axe throwing instructor.
Oh yeah, dude! You already have the thrown weapon fighting style. Like you're already there.
Right?
Yeah. No, this just tracks.
That's my day job. It's a fun day job. It's what I do for a living.
Dude, fighter's my favorite class of the not full casters.
It works quite well.
Yeah, I love.
100%.
No, that's perfect. What subclass though? You got to go deeper. I need to know.
Deeper, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I think so. The thing is, again, I don't play a lot of D&D. I DM a lot of DM. I DM a lot, but I don't actually play a lot, so I don't know a lot of the classes.
Gotcha.
But it would either be, I think the one I'm currently on at, because my current character is a fighter. He is a samurai fighter.
Ooh, sure.
Just because then you've got that advantage, and you've
Yeah.
got that temporary HP.
Well, and a bit of out of combat utility just through the
Yeah.
subclass. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's sort of what I'm currently doing. But I don't actually know a lot of the. I don't know a lot of the sort of lower classes of the classes, as it were, because I don't
Sure.
do a lot of player work.
Yeah.
I do a lot of DMing and making up stories.
When I first started DMing, I did not realize that you weren't supposed to use player classes for NPCs. So I made a lot of characters. And that is like my D&D Beyond. I know that I probably shouldn't support, but again, my moral compass does not point true north. So I'm nice and selfish because it's so easy to make a character in D&D Beyond. Oh my god, it's so easy.
Yeah, I know.
If me and my wife are just like watching television, I'm just like leaned back in my chair, like one-handed, like scrolling through the D&D Beyond character creator. Screw D&D Beyond. I agree, Chaos. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a role model. I agree with you, and I still pay for it.
Yeah, well, I don't pay for it. I don't pay for it.
Put some effort in? No. I won't. You should. I should.
Easy. It's just easy. It's just too easy.
It's too convenient. I agree with you, Chaos. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not a role model. I fuck D&D Beyond, fuck wizards, Pinkerton looking asses. But no, man, I use it less than I used to because I'm getting more into DMing Blades, and so I actually have to put effort into making those characters. But
that's fair. Yeah.
But back in the day, I am actually, not to fucking humanize myself at all, because you still shouldn't look up to me. But I am actually about to cancel my D&D Beyond subscription because I don't really use it anymore.
That's fair.
But I used to just like go on there and just roll up characters because it's so simple. Now I'll use Character Mancer on Roll20, which is also a shitty company, but I don't pay for shit. Let's go.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't know if you want me to be saying all these statements. I don't get nearly this opinionated on my own stream. I don't know why you bring it out of me, Blue. I think it's probably just Chaos that brings it out of me.
Maybe Chaos did it. I didn't think I would get this opinionated on it, you know. I mean, if you want opinionated, there is an opinionated question on my list, but you haven't rolled for it yet. Because you've just been rolling so poorly, which is how.
When you
it was like...
when you're talking about fighter, we didn't touch on this. I would be a human. Not because I like human, but because I can't bring myself to give up a level 1 feat. As a professional creative builder, that level 1 feat is so I love it.
No, that's fair.
So what race would you be?
I like a good Dragonborn. I like a good Dragonborn. Yeah, I like Dragonborns. Purely because they're just cool. I like dragons.
They are cool. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Very cool. But recently, I have found a new favorite race, which is the entirely opposite of me. So in real life, I am about average, mid build.
We seem like we have
very
similar
muscular.
builds. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. My favorite race that I'm currently playing as is the exact opposite of that. Is Minotaur.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so much fun to play.
Fuck yeah.
So many big, brawly horns. You can be intimidating when you need to be. It's just like, that's what I want to be.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down with it.
Yeah. Like Dragonborn if we're going original, and then if we're going for like the extra ones, Minotaur is a good one to play as.
So almost always, I know Dragonborn isn't technically a monstrous race, but
no.
But normally in the monstrous direction is where you lean.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones where if you, I'm gonna sound a bit. Not snobbish, but I'm going to talk down to your human.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were going to sound like a furry.
No, No. If you're playing a game like Dungeons and Dragons
Oh,
and
yeah.
you pick human, where you could be literally anything else,
Yeah.
go for human. I
Because of
get your logic,
because of
and I get that, and that's fine.
I love the feet, dude. I can't. Oh, dude. No death to furry. We love furries in here. I'm not one, but furries are more than welcome. Um, no, my big thing with character creation, because I was talking about,
Yeah.
like, building characters, which makes it sound like I'm a power gamer or a war gamer. Oh, joking.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Barney. We're new. I don't know your vibes yet.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
But I I'm not a power gamer or a war gamer, and my credentials are that I don't take Eldritch Blast and I've never been a Hexblade. Even though
Okay.
I've played like 10 Warlocks.
Yeah.
And I've taken Pact of the Blade, but never Hexblade. So
Never Hexblade.
those are my
Why not
non-power
Okay,
gamer
yeah.
creds, right?
Okay.
Those are my non-power gamer creds.
Yeah.
But I love the the like backstory ability of a level 1 feat. Like, the character that I'm currently playing is like a 16-year-old girl, and she's a aberrant mind sorcerer. And she so aberrant mind starts out with telekinesis, and then
Yeah.
or not telekinesis, sorry, telepathy. And then
So yeah.
I wanted to build it into where, like, she has this incredibly strong mind, kind of 11 from Stranger Things kind of vibe.
Yeah. I'm
Except
with you.
she is incredibly arrogant and narcissistic, and every character has a bit of the creator in it. What? Who said that?
Okay. Yes.
But at level 1, it's so dope, because then I could take the telekinetic feat to bolster up that
Give it more.
backstory and give it a little bit more juice.
Yeah.
But the campaign before that, I did play an Air Ganassi, so I
Okay.
go outside a human
You
occasionally.
go out.
It depends
Yeah,
on it.
no, that's
Really,
fair.
it always depends on whether or not I can work the features of the race into the backstory. Like, if those
Okay.
racial features fit with the backstory. If they do, that's so sick.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that follows up to a question that I hope you will roll on, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because I'm gonna give you a nice question.
Okay.
When you are creating characters, where do you start? Because I know a lot of people are like, we start the race, we start with name, class,
Yeah.
backstory, whatever. Where do you start when you create characters?
It depends on the purpose of the character. If I'm just creating it for fun, which I often do, I start with the backstory and then just let everything fall out from there. If I'm creating it from for an actual campaign or like a one shot, I am a chronic support main in video games. It's just in my blood. I have in Overwatch 1, because fuck Overwatch 2. Damn, the opinions are just coming out.
They are. I was expecting this.
If I in Overwatch 1, I had triple the hours on Mercy than any other character. I just can't stop myself. So in D&D, I am a chronic filler. It is so hard for me to choose anything before everyone else has like completed their character. So then normally I look at what their characters are. I choose a class that fits within that, and then I build the backstory and then the race.
From there.
Race almost always comes last. Race is almost always like the backfill.
That's fair. No, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, but I will say in my
Yeah.
most recent campaign that I'm playing in, it's with a bunch of players that I've played with for a long time, and they were like, Jack, you have to choose towards the front. They were like, you have to choose at
Yeah.
least like second. You can't choose last. You're not allowed. I was like,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
No, that's fair. No,
Yeah.
I'm with you on you. Like, I tend to start with sort of like an idea more than a backstory. So I'm like,
Mm,
wouldn't it be cool if you played this character or a thing that could do this or has this
right.
type of morals? So one character that I really would love to play, but I haven't had the chance, is a death cleric.
Ooh, death.
Purely because the way I want to play it is that the death cleric is maybe possibly human, possibly not, because the death cleric works for the Grim Reaper.
I see.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
The reason, so he has to collect souls to give to the Grim Reaper, but
Sure.
the reason why the death cleric is with the party is because they know they can get more souls that the party will kill than they could by themselves.
Dude,
so they heal the party to get more deaths.
I love that is one of the places that your mind goes. I'm getting a little bit less silly and a little
100%.
bit more serious, DM. This is more how I am on my actual streams. The fact that you start, like, part of your initial original idea is why they are with the party.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is one of the things that I have told my stream is like one of the first questions you should ask yourself about your character is why are they with the party? Because adventuring is a terrible, dangerous profession that no one in their right mind would take part in.
Yeah.
And so that is fantastic to start out with. Yeah, dude.
I'm glad to think that. Yeah, so that's a lot where my, like, normally it's okay, the characters by themselves, okay, where they come from, how they get themselves in this scenario. But the current one is there was a joint backstory with a few others. They were on a pirate ship, so that sort of formed that backstory before of this Minotaur fighter who I play as got picked up by this pirate crew because he had nothing else to lose. So started there and then worked his way up the ranks and suddenly became this trusted first mate to the captain.
Right.
And then they don't know this, but they don't watch my TikTok, so I'm happy to reveal it. Has a bit more of a sinister side of things. So it isn't necessarily who he says he was.
Yeah.
He comes across as this tall, broad, doesn't quite know what he's doing Minotaur fighter.
Sure. A little bit of like the dumb brute trope.
Yeah, but he's far more intelligent than he lets out to be. And he does things for, at first seems for the ship's sake, but then turns out for his sake.
I see.
Because he has ulterior motives.
Do you have a planned arc, like a planned character arc for him? I'm curious how you go about doing that, because I've sometimes had like a character that I build and I'm like, I have no idea what their arc is going to be.
Yeah.
And then other times I have like very intentional arcs when I build the character.
Sometimes. So the one that we're on about, the Minotaur, he was originally a lot of the time start off with a very vague backstory. Because then I can add things to it within the first 5 sessions. Because no one really would pick up on that. So you can start doing that. So I made a joke to the DM, who used to be one of my players, who is now DMing.
Yeah.
Because the Minotaur that I'm playing, he's got one of his horns that's missing. So one's full length, the other one's sawed off. For backstory reasons.
Okay.
So I joked about what if one day someone else saw his reflection with 2 horns.
Ooh. And like
Just
you had
a
no
second, he goes,
no idea what that was yet. You were
I know
just
that,
like, oh, that's
and then I was
interesting.
like, that was like, oh, wouldn't that be funny? Like, ha ha. He's like, no, I like that. Work on that a bit more. So like, okay. So I worked on it a bit more, and now he is very much taken the identity of this Minotaur fighter,
Right.
and has ulterior motives to essentially overthrow this pirate ship. And just so happens that the captain, in real life, the player has left the city that we live in, and moved away.
Ah, I see. I see.
So the first mate has suddenly become captain.
Mm-hmm. So
Mm.
yeah.
So it was things of like, it started off as a joke, and then like, actually no, that would be
work.
kind of cool to do.
Yeah.
We're doing this now. Oh, okay. So that sort of has happened from that.
Yeah, I think that is one of the ways that I have started going with like the last 2 characters that I've made and am currently playing.
Yeah.
They both started at level 1, which I generally prefer at my tables when I'm DMing and when I'm playing.
Okay.
Because one of the things that I like doing is choosing a subclass based on the events of the story.
Okay.
So one of my current my current main character, the one that I told you about, the telekinetic and telepathic
Yeah.
girl, she also, I don't know if I mentioned that she is mute.
You did not.
Yeah, she's mute, but she has the telepathy.
Okay.
The very
Yeah,
like
yeah.
easy on demand telepathy. But I kind of told my dungeon master, I was like, yeah, I have like one of 3 ways I could see Eudokia going, and I
Yeah.
don't know which one I'm going to do yet. I want to like let the events of the story guide it.
Yeah, 100%.
And with sorcery, you have to choose the subclass at level 1. But
Yeah.
the other game that I'm playing a rogue, and you don't choose that until level 3. And I didn't know what rogue subclass I was going to go. I had like a general build that would have worked for multiple. And
Okay.
we were kind of heisting, but from like a tomb sort of deal.
Yeah.
And there was a not a bomb that we didn't know would be there, but like a fuel core, like a nuclear fuel rod, but it was like
Right.
shadow magic.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And because I was the rogue, I was the one that actually like went in and like grabbed it and like got out. And the DM narrated how like even touching it, you can feel like your emotions being messed with, yada yada yada. And
Yeah.
I actually ended up going down during that fight while the thing was strapped to my back, and I'm having all this fucked up shit. And
Yeah.
so now I think for my subclass, I'm going to go the Phantom Rogue of like
Okay.
incorporating that experience into my subclass choice.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I hear a lot that people say is like, oh, but if I want to go this subclass, how am I going to like, and we start at level 1, how am I going to like do that? And I think number 1, if there is a specific subclass that you want to play as the DM, I will work it into the story. I don't know.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So it's like if you wanted to go a psionic rogue, but it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
that you like don't have your psionics for 2 levels and then all of a sudden one day develop them.
Yeah.
I will create an event that would in fiction
100%. Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sense for you to gain that.
Yeah. I'm with that with multi-classing,
Yeah.
where I don't let my players multi-class for the sake of multi-classing.
Mm,
If they want to multi-class, that's fine. But like, let me know beforehand, and then we can
Yeah.
create the story to get you to do that.
100%.
Because I've got who is it? I've got used to, because it's an old campaign. Used to have a paladin
Mm-hmm.
who wants to do a bit more magic stuff.
Yeah.
as he put it. So
Sure.
I suggest the options of we could go wizard route, we could do sorcerer route. They are relatively easy,
Yeah.
but the more fun route would if you went down warlock.
It's always fun. And it's
It's
easy
always
to
fun.
introduce.
Oh, it was so easy, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll do that." I was like, "Okay."
Hell yeah.
When it gets to we will plan it for when next time you level up, you will be able to take a level in warlock. Sadly, we stopped that campaign just before that happened.
Yeah.
Just because I took a break personally.
Yeah.
So they never got above level 7. And we've got a half-finished campaign, which we've got to finish at some point.
Yeah. I feel that. The Thieves Cant one I was talking about earlier had a very similar thing where I was in college and I was like going into an internship, but I was also still taking classes, and I was like, guys, I just can't fit this. And then I continued to not be able to fit it, and now it's been like 3 years, and it's like, I don't know, I can't really ever go back to it, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, Undead King says that he's somewhat of a power gamer and finds builds and creates characters around them, which I know a lot of my players are very similar, where like they see a interesting subclass that they want to play, or like an interesting combination of feats, I think is a really common one. And then they build a character that fits those things.
Yes.
Which is kind of how Eudokia came about, but it was more like I saw Aberrant Mind, and it just got me thinking about telepathy, and then Eudokia spawned.
Yeah.
In my brain.
No, that's fair. I don't allow sort of like power builds in my campaign. Like, the more power to you. If we're doing a one shot, you want to make the best powerful character you can. That's fine.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is when you mid-max your character for the sake of mid-maxing it.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna make everyone else not enjoy the game as much fun as that.
Yeah.
That's like a strict, like, we're not gonna have that. I personally prefer it where your character will be weak at some things.
Sure.
So it's not good at everything.
Yeah.
If you've got, like, maybe 2 or 3 stats are maybe 10, 11, or even lower.
Yeah.
Just so then you've got those, you're good at these, but then you've got to really risk it if you want to do something that you're not good at.
I mean, it's one of the reasons, and this is controversial. We're really getting really into the controversial shit. I'm a point buy guy.
Point buy.
I love point buy because it just puts everyone on the same playing field. They have access to the same things, and I generally find that most, like, for example, when I was watching Critical Role, Matt talks about how he uses 4d6 dropped lowest. And I was like, okay, chat, let me put something to you. Let's consider a situation in which the most statistically unlikely thing ever occurs. And you roll, what is that? 24 ones. You roll 24 ones in a row, and every single one of your stats is a 3. Am I gonna make you play that character? Like, I'm not. Like, no one. It would be totally unreasonable. And so, in my head, I'm like, no one that's actually rolling is truly rolling. They all have a little exception case in their head for like, okay, if it's below this line, like, I'll bump it up, or I'll let them re-roll, or et cetera, et cetera. And I get to a point where it's like, okay, the more exceptions we add in, the more I'm like, let's just fucking do point buy and forget it. Like, let's just get rid of all the complicated bullshit and let's just do whatever.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I'm also kind of a dice hater in general.
A dice hater.
I'm a little bit of a hater, dude. I mean, I love me some dice. I like the clicky clacks that the math rocks make.
So if I'm looking around, it's because my cat started wandering around. I don't know where he's gone. Sorry, continue on.
But yeah, in general, I like for me and my players to have decent narrative control.
Okay.
And wanting that requires a certain level of trust in your characters, like, or in your players.
Yeah.
Like I there are some tables I've played at where I have less of that trust. But
Okay.
I trust my players a lot, and I trust that they will not do anything, that they are also in it for the story, right? They're also in it for
Okay.
the narrative. And
Yeah.
so I want to kind of like maximize their agency in that. And so I
Okay.
focus my roles and my rolling on when is uncertainty like valuable, right? Like that's what I want to get out of rolling. So like, for example, I've never rolled for monster health. I've never rolled for monster damage even. I use average.
Okay.
I use average all the way through.
Okay.
Because to me, the interesting part of combat is not that the monster did 1 damage this turn and 20. Like, I don't find those like giant highs and lows to be overly interesting, unless they have some sort of narrative backing. And so sometimes I will roll, but only if I think it's like very interesting. And I have the same general philosophy around skill checks. Is I roll when it's interesting.
Okay.
And I think that failure can be very interesting. Failure should be interesting in my estimation.
Failure should be interesting, 100%. Yes.
So
it should be.
A lot of times, like, there's a big like online conversation about like, you know, like with the 1D&D skill check, natural crits and fails. I saw a lot of conversation about like, well, if an action's impossible, they shouldn't roll for it anyways, or blah blah blah. And I kind of extend that rule to if the result of the roll cannot be made interesting, then it's just a yes or a no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a dice hater. I'm also
You're kind of a dice hater.
I don't run like super like heavily heroic campaigns either. So I've talked about that in reference to Critical Role, where they have a lot of really dramatic highs and lows, and they do it really well. And I think that skill check crits and fails work really well for that style of campaign.
Yes.
But I don't generally run those sorts of campaigns. I run much I don't want to say grittier, because I think that grittier implies like more crunch, like we're like tracking rations, and that I'm like a dick about like rests and shit. I'm a little bit of a dick about rests, but not hugely.
You're right. Yeah.
But it's more down to earth. It's like very like not chosen one, not like really a save the world quest. Like they would have never fought something like Kavarn at level 10. Like it just wouldn't have happened at my table.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's a big long. If I'm taking up all the air in the room, let me know. Feel free to cut me off.
No.
I'm too used to talking to the camera alone.
One of the questions I was going to ask you was your D&D hot take, and I feel like that has just answered that immediately.
I'm a bit of a dice hater. It's one of the reasons.
Bit of a dice hater.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I like Blades in the Dark, because DMs never roll. Everything in Blades in the Dark is determined by player rolls, which I like a lot.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
That's fair. No. I'm with you on that. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I see. I like dice, and I like rolling the dice. But I can see your point of view for that. I'm with you on taking the average hit points.
Mm-hmm.
I never roll. I either take the average or I buff it up myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do roll for attacks and attack damage, purely because then in the way that I do my games, it adds a bit more suspense to it. Because especially if it's like, because I'm at the moment have the gibbering mouth up on my page because I haven't closed it.
Yeah.
Like the 5d6 piercing damage. Either you're getting off lucky, or you're gonna be in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the tenseness that I like in my games.
Sure. Yeah.
Of your uncertainty, you're leaving it up to chance, essentially.
Yeah, I think uncertainty is a great way to play it, or a great term for it. I talk a lot about like the tone at the table in my Critical Role streams, because I talk a lot about how like the tone at my table is very different from Matt's, and it doesn't make my table or Matt's table better or worse. But like I also generally don't have like magic item shops at all. Period.
Okay.
So but I don't think that like Gilmore's Glorious Goods is bad. It's just like it's a certain tone that you're setting, and I think that more dice and more randomness does create a lot of uncertainty, which as a DM you can work into other aspects of your campaign. Yeah. And you can present them with much more you can play on their confidence a lot more when in those sorts of uncertain campaigns, because they never truly know what's going to happen. Whereas at my tables, it is a lot more, they have a much better handle on what is going to happen, but I ramp up the challenge a lot because I know that they know. And I will also present like a lot of unexpected variables. So one of my favorite things to do with the way that I DM is that I establish like pretty hard and set rules of like, I'm using average damage, average health, low rolling environment of like, okay, so I establish like they can kind of know what to expect in any given situation. And then I will fundamentally break a rule of D&D. So I will say like, okay, like you think you know that a fighter can multi-attack 4 times. This fighter can multi-attack 7 times. Fuck you. Like, so
no, I'm with you.
But once I establish that, I also stick to that. So a lot of the challenge, I think about D&D, a lot of D&D challenges as puzzles. Even combat I think about as like a puzzle.
Yes.
And so that is like kind of at the core of my style, is taking away uncertainty, but then introducing the fact that I could always throw a wrench in the plans. So like that's like the hanging uncertainty over them is they think they understand everything. So I bolster up their confidence a lot, and then I crash it down.
No, that's fair. Sorry, if I look like I'm getting distracted, it's because I've got my cat walking upon my desk.
That's no problem. No problem.
I was like, I'm making sure he doesn't fall. But no, I do a lot of home ball in my games where it is very much you think one thing is going to happen, but I'm not going to play it that way.
Yeah.
Just because it's a lot more fun my end. I'm having fun. I need to have fun as well because I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, the DM's an equal participant at the table. 100%.
100%. So it is currently 11:15 my time.
Oh no!
I think. I know. I'm gonna give you one more question.
Okay.
One more, and then we're gonna. I think I may have to head off just because I'm getting very tired. I wasn't expecting me to. So we're gonna do one more. One more. Okay. We're gonna make it a good one.
No, that's the problem with you Europeans, is that you're up so late. You have to be up so late to deal with the Americans.
I know, and I have to be up early tomorrow. So I'm like, if I didn't have to be anywhere tomorrow, I would have been up all night. But I have to be somewhere tomorrow. So I'm like, I have to. I've given you. Yeah, I know. Time zones suck.
Time zones do suck.
Right, we'll do one more dice.
Let's do it. Oh,
one more dice though.
I'm rolling.
You're rolling, I know.
Feel free to fudge this. Oh my god! I was like, maybe I'll redeem my. Okay, wait. Actually, no. It didn't land on anything. I'm redeeming myself.
It didn't land on anything. Okay.
It's a 3. It was
a 3.
It was a 6, and then it was a 3, dude. I don't know.
We've rolled. We rolled 1 dice above a 10. in an hour and 45 minutes.
I don't roll well. That's why I like blades. I don't have to roll. Maybe that's the real deep down
Maybe the
trauma
reason.
that I carry of why I'm like this, why I'm such a dice hater.
Because your rolls don't well.
Maybe.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well, we'll end on a slightly, I guess,
You can give me whatever
slightly
you want.
thinky question. I was gonna end it on this one, but
Okay.
with the three, I'm gonna still end it on this one. What is your dream D&D table with guests? Now, these can be dead or alive. These can be fictional or fake. As many players as you want. You can either be a player or a DM. But what is your dream table to have?
Ooh. It would be as a DM. So
Okay.
What is the dream blunt rotation? It's it's fuck. Man, this is the hardest one. This is easily the hardest question you've asked. Because it's multiple people. It'd be like
That's true.
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Okay, yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay, yeah.
I have to
Look people up. How many players you going for?
I've just a standard 4, I was thinking.
Well, okay.
Anton Yelchin, who
Okay.
plays Odd Thomas, or people might know him better from Star Trek.
Okay.
He's not Scotty. Who is he? I don't remember who he is. In Star Trek, but yeah, Anton Yelchin, but he's also dead. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And then
How is this the hardest question?
I don't know, because I keep thinking of
we
things that I'm like, no, there must be something better. Like I feel like I'm missing something that I would really, really want. Can they be fictional?
They can be fictional. They can be fictional.
Oh, I have to look up his name.
Okay.
No. Fuck. No, this is bad. Oh man, I'm really just tanking the momentum of the live stream right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. This is
because I
in my
have.
brain. Who is it? Who are you trying to think of?
I don't want to tell you yet.
I thought I could help at least. Okay.
No,
we'll
it's a deep cut. It's a very deep cut. No, that's not it. Oh no, that is it. Wolfmare Shadowcloak.
That's a hell of a name from what?
What's
that from?
Wolfmare Shadowcloak is the author of The Guide to Better Thieving in Skyrim. He is a fictional author, and The Guide to Better Thieving is the skill book for the sneak skill in Skyrim, but it is written from the perspective of a thief, whereas most of these skill books are like basically dumb how-tos, like here's how you put the iron into the forge. Who cares?
Yeah.
A Guide to Better Thieving is like filled with like fun, quippy anecdotes. And I think that he would be a blast during downtime. I think he would just be delightful. So it's Wolfmare Shadowcloak, Brennan Lee Mulligan, Edgar Allan Poe, and Anton Yelchin.
That's a hell of a table.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a table, I think.
And now I've given you all this time to vamp and to think.
You have.
What's your table?
Oh, you're gonna spring it back on me.
We gotta end your event with your table.
Okay. My table. I think a dream table I would be playing. I wouldn't DM. Cause like DMing to all of these people would be so much pressure.
Yeah.
So, I think DM wise, I'm gonna have Henry Cavill.
Oh, he's and he knows the rules already, so you don't even have to explain the rules to him.
Yeah, he'll be full on that.
That's delightful.
I think one player, Travis Willingham, as he is my favorite Critical Role cast member.
Hey, we're on the same fucking page, man.
So we're going Travis for one.
Oh yeah.
Let's think. I think the film director Edgar Wright, if you've heard of him.
Do you do Baby Driver? Is that?
He did Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yes, Hot Fuzz. Yeah.
I'll have him as a player because I think he would just be so good with the detail.
Yeah.
God, I didn't think of a fictional person now. Let's go with. Don't know. I haven't played many games recently. Let's say. Think for the sheer chaoticness of it, I think Deadpool might be kind of fun. Just because, right? Just because.
Yeah, I could see that. Sure.
I've forgotten who was that. So Henry Cavill, Travis Willingham, Edgar Wright, Deadpool. One final guy.
Oh, he's going bigger. That's that Critical Role influence on you. I hate big tables.
Well, no, that's true. Yeah, no, I'm used to 5 players.
Yeah.
That's why. I think one more would be. I don't know. I think we may have to finish at 4, but I want. Who would round off that table? I can't think of anything that comes to mind that would work with all.
This is a tough
4
question.
of those. It is a tough question. I didn't realize it was gonna be that hard.
I know, you stumped me. I had to Google things.
Let's go with because I can Gary Gygax.
Oh, bring in the history. Yeah.
Bring in the history. He would know how to play it.
Sure.
And just have that as a table. I'm sure the personalities would clash, but
maybe a tiny bit, but that's all right. That's all right. Especially for a one shot, we're chilling.
Yeah, I think they would all play to their strengths, and I think it would just be a very cool table to play as.
I don't think you would have to convince any of them to role play either, which is huge.
100%.
Yeah.
I think they're very much. You could just be like, here's the game, and they'll just play it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my table.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a good way to end it.
A clusterfuck. Yeah. So, God, I'm tired. I'm gonna end my end. Whoever is watching, thank you all for watching this late live my end. I will be live again tomorrow with Grey Cartographer doing a map off or maps. It's gonna be interesting. So thank you very much. My end. See you later.
And I'll sign off on mine as well.
Go for it.
Goodbye. I think there's only one on my end. I think it's probably Undead King, the Lurking Lord. And thank you for watching. Anyone who tuned in, anyone who's watching the VOD, I do have a lot of VOD watchers, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you to ThatBlueHairedDM for having me.
It's been a pleasure, absolutely.
It was so much fun. Undead King said it was very entertaining. Fuck yeah.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And I will see you guys probably on Monday for episode 16 on the way to Vasselheim? Either one.
Vasselheim.
Yeah. Goodbye. Stop.